Hello and welcome back to a new episode of Geography Facts on your favorite channel on YouTube. So here are 100 random goofy geography facts I'm sure you're going to enjoy. Anyway, let's begin. Country and flag facts. Sweden. Did you know that Sweden is so sparsely populated that there are actually more IKEA stores worldwide than there are towns in Sweden? Imagine traveling from one IKEA to another instead of hopping between towns. Spain. Spain hosts an annual event called La Tomatina, where participants gather in the town of Buñol and throw over 100,000 kilograms of tomatoes at each other. It's like a giant food fight, but on a national scale. This is Turkmenistan's flag, and this flag is considered one of the most intricate in the world, featuring 5 traditional carpet designs on its left side. It's like a tapestry you could hang on your wall. Germany. Germany has a beer pipeline in the town of Bramsche. Yes, you heard that right. A pipeline that delivers beer directly to pubs. It's every beer lover's dream come true. Italy. The town of Calamari in Italy has absolutely nothing to do with squid. The name might get you excited about seafood, but don't expect a calamari festival here. Finland. Finland is the most forested country in Europe, with a whopping 73% of its land area covered in dense, lush forests. If you love nature, Finland might just be your paradise. This is the flag of the US, and while the original flag had 13 stripes for the original 13 colonies, when 2 more states joined the Union, they added 2 more stripes. It was later changed back to 13 stripes. But imagine how stretched out the flag would be today if they hadn't. Iceland. When speaking of sparse populations, Iceland instantly comes to mind as it is the most sparsely populated country in Europe, with an average of just 3 people per square kilometer. Perfect for anyone who enjoys solitude and breathtaking landscapes. Jamaica. Jamaica is home to the Luminous Lagoon, a magical place that glows at night due to the presence of microscopic organisms called dinoflagellates. I mean, just take a look at these pictures, that's sick. Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico boasts more bioluminescent bays than anywhere else in the world. These bays, glowing with millions of tiny organisms, make nighttime kayaking an unforgettable experience. Canada. In Newfoundland, Canada, there is a town called Dildo. And yes, the name attracts a lot of attention, including from tourists who love to take pictures next to the town sign. This is the flag of Saudi Arabia, and this flag features the Islamic creed, Shahada, making it religiously significant. As a result, it is never flown at half-mast, as lowering it would be considered disrespectful. Quite interesting how culture is such a big part in some countries. Let me know how culture plays a role in your country in the comments. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. The United States. In Alaska, there is a town named Chicken. The story goes that the town's founders wanted to name it ptarmigan after a local bird, but they couldn't agree on the spelling, so they settled on chicken. Sounds like a goofy story from a children's book, in my opinion. Anyway, let's move a bit south to the country of Mexico. Mexico. This is the Yucatan Peninsula, and it got its name because of a misunderstanding. The Spanish conquistadors asked the Mayans what the place was called, but the Mayans responded with Yucatan, which means, I don't understand you. As a result, there's a peninsula in Mexico called I don't understand you. Good to know. Guatemala. Guatemala is home to a massive sinkhole that appeared in 2010, swallowing a 3-story factory and creating a nearly perfect circular pit. These are some pictures, and it's definitely a fascinating piece of land representing Guatemala's geographic pride. We don't talk often about Guatemala, but this is something that we needed to stop by on this channel. Anyway, let's move on. India. India is home to more vegetarians than the rest of the world combined. About 30–40% of the population follows a vegetarian diet, making it a paradise for plant-based eaters. Nepal. Nepal, known for its majestic mountains, also has the highest concentration of UNESCO World Heritage Sites packed in such a small area. 8 out of the 10 highest peaks in the world are found here, making it a mecca for adventure seekers. South Korea. South Korea holds the title for the highest rate of cosmetic surgery per capita in the world, with about 1 in 5 women in Seoul having undergone some form of plastic surgery. It's a booming industry in a country obsessed with beauty standards. This is the flag of South Africa, and it is one of the most colorful, featuring 6 colors, each holding equal status. This unique design was created to reflect the country's diversity and unity after the apartheid era. I myself still find this one of the most beautiful flags in the world. Let me know what flag you find the most fascinating or beautiful. Madagascar. Madagascar is home to the incredible baobab tree that can store up to 32,000 gallons of water in its trunk. These trees are a lifeline in dry regions and have become a symbol of resilience and beauty. Nigeria. Nigeria is projected to surpass the United States in population by 2050, making it the 3rd most populous country in the world. With its young and rapidly growing population, Nigeria is set to play a major role on the global stage. Ethiopia. Ethiopia follows its own unique calendar that is 7 to 8 years behind the Gregorian calendar. So, while the rest of the world was celebrating 2021, Ethiopia was still in 2013. Kenya. Kenya is a melting pot of cultures with 44 different ethnic groups, each with its own unique language and traditions. It's a cultural treasure trove for anthropologists and travelers alike. Another interesting fact about Kenya is often described as the cradle of humanity. It's believed to be the birthplace of humankind due to tools being found dating back to over 3 million years BC. They surely go way back. Australia is home to 21 of the world's 25 most venomous snakes. If you ever visit, just be sure to watch your step, but this probably doesn't come as a surprise to you. New Zealand. New Zealand has more sheep than people, with a ratio of about 5 sheep for every person. It's a true sheep lover's paradise. Nauru. Nauru is one of the only countries in the world without an official capital. The tiny island nation is unique in more ways than one, the other way being the most obese country. But let's leave that aside for now, shall we? Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is home to a vast semi-desert area where astronauts practice for landing on Mars. Its barren landscapes mimic the red planet, making it a perfect training ground. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is the largest country in the world without a single river. It relies heavily on desalination for its water supply, making it a leader in this technology. San Marino. San Marino, one of the smallest countries in the world, has more cars than people. With a ratio of 1,263 cars for every 1,000 inhabitants, traffic jams must look very different here. Malta. Malta takes the lead in the EU with the highest rate of marriages to foreigners. About 40% of marriages here involve at least one foreign national. Switzerland. Did you know Switzerland is the world's largest exporter of watches? They account for more than 50% of the global watch market by value. Vatican City. Believe it or not, Vatican City has the world's highest crime rate per capita, thanks to the high number of tourists and pickpockets. With fewer than 1,000 residents, it's a statistical anomaly, but you surely wouldn't expect that from such a holy state. It, however, does make sense since the Vatican receives 6.7 million tourists yearly, some an easy prey for street thieves. Ireland. Ireland is the world's largest exporter of software, hosting the European headquarters of major tech companies like Google, Facebook, and Apple. It's not just known for shamrocks and Guinness. Bermuda. Bermuda's national drink is called the Dark and Stormy, named after the region's notoriously turbulent weather. A perfect drink for the stormy, seafaring spirit of the island. Venezuela. Venezuela's Lake Maracaibo experiences a natural phenomenon known as Catatumbo lightning. This extraordinary weather event can occur up to 260 nights a year, creating almost continuous lightning storms that can be seen from miles away. Brazil. Deep in the Amazon rainforest lies Fordlandia, a ghost town built by Henry Ford in the 1920s as a rubber plantation colony. It was abandoned after a series of missteps and is now a relic of a bizarre industrial experiment. Argentina. Patagonia. In Argentina is so vast and remote that you're more likely to stumble upon dinosaur bones than people. In fact, some of the world's most significant paleontological discoveries have been made right here. This is the flag of Bermuda, and it is the only flag that has an image of a shipwreck on it. The ship, the Sea Venture, was wrecked on the Bermuda Reefs in 1609, which led to the English colonization of the island. To remind them of their rich history, the shipwreck waves proudly along with their flag. Bolivia. Bolivia's Salar de Uyuni is the world's largest salt flat, and when it rains, it transforms into the largest natural mirror on Earth. It's like stepping into a surreal painting. Philippines. The Philippines is the world's largest supplier of nurses, providing nearly 25% of all overseas nurses worldwide. Indonesia. Indonesia is home to the world's largest Muslim population, yet it is not an Islamic state. It's a fascinating country of diversity and harmony, with hundreds of ethnic groups and languages. Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is the largest landlocked country in the world. It's so vast that it has its own climate zones, from deserts to snow-capped mountains, making it a land of striking contrasts. Uzbekistan and Liechtenstein. Did you know that Uzbekistan and Liechtenstein are the world's only 2 double landlocked countries? This means they are landlocked and surrounded entirely by other landlocked countries. Talk about being isolated. Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe experienced the highest inflation rate in recorded history, reaching an astronomical 79.6 billion% month-on-month in November 2008. Imagine needing a wheelbarrow full of money just to buy bread. Somalia. Somalia has the longest coastline on mainland Africa. It stretches over 3,300 kilometers along the Indian Ocean, making it a strategic location for both trade and, unfortunately, piracy. This is Kiribatis flag, and this flag features a rising sun over water with a flying frigate bird representing the vast ocean and freedom. Ironically, Kiribati is at risk of sinking due to rising sea levels. Their flag is almost like a warning about climate change. South Africa. Table Mountain in South Africa is one of the few mountains in the world with a completely flat top. It's also considered one of the new 7 wonders of nature. Nigeria. Did you know that Nigeria has more women than men, with about 11 million more women than men due to higher male mortality rates? It's one of the largest gender gaps in the world. Tuvalu. Tiny Tuvalu, located in the Pacific Ocean, has only one hospital, and it's on the main island of Funafuti. With a population of around 11,000, it's one of the smallest and most remote countries in the world. Qatar. Qatar has the highest carbon dioxide emissions per capita in the world, largely due to its oil and gas production. While it's one of the wealthiest nations, it also faces challenges in terms of sustainability. This is Nauru's flag, and it is quite literal. It shows a star on a blue field to represent its exact position in the Pacific Ocean, just below the equator. It's a flag and a map all in one. Let's take a look at the flag real quick. The blue represents the ocean, while the straight yellow line stands for the equator. The star is the location of the country. If you ever forget the position of Nauru, just take a look at their flag and you're good to go. In my opinion, one of the most original concepts on a flag design. Paraguay. Paraguay has a navy, despite being a landlocked country. Their navy patrols the nation's major rivers, keeping them safe and secure. Still kind of funny how a country without a direct connect to an ocean is home to a navy. Ecuador. Ecuador boasts a volcano with a perpetual waterfall that appears to flow upward due to unique wind patterns. It's an optical illusion and a natural wonder all in one. Peru. In Peru, there's an annual festival called Takanakui, where locals gather to settle disputes by fighting each other. It's a tradition of clearing the air and starting the new year fresh. Cruel, but a very direct way to settle arguments. Bhutan. Bhutan is the world's only carbon-negative country, meaning it absorbs more CO2 than it produces. With its pristine forests and strong environmental policies, Bhutan is a shining example of sustainability. This is the flag of North Korea on land, while this is their flag on sea. You see, North Korea uses a different version of its national flag for its ships at sea, known as the maritime ensign. This makes it one of the rare countries to have separate flags for different purposes, comparable to a country like the Philippines, which earlier discussed has a normal flag in times of peace, but their flag upside down in times of war. Flags in some way always keep me on my toes when learning about them. Mongolia. Mongolia is the least densely populated country on Earth, with only about 2 people per square kilometer. Its vast steppes and nomadic culture make it a place of endless horizons. Maldives. The Maldives is the flattest country on Earth, with its highest natural point being just 2.4 meters above sea level. The island nation faces a serious threat from rising sea levels. A little help from the Netherlands couldn't hurt too much. The Netherlands is a true master in water management with its dikes and dunes. Did you know that the Netherlands would be underwater for 1/3 of the country if it wasn't for the water management of the Dutch? In other words, at least 1/3 of the country is below sea level. That's seriously impressive. Population facts. Let's take a look at some interesting facts on population and compare them to give an even more impressive perspective on these. India versus the whole of Africa. India recently surpassed China to become the most populous country with over 1.4 billion people. Africa, a continent made up of 54 countries, has a population of around 1.5 billion. To put this into perspective, one country, India, nearly has as many people as an entire continent that covers more than 30 million square kilometers. California versus Poland. The US state of California has a population of about 39 million people. Poland, a Central European country, has a population of about 38 million people. This means the entire population of Poland can fit into California, even though Poland has a rich history going back centuries and spans over 312,000 square kilometers, while California is just one state of many in the US. Shanghai versus Australia. The city of Shanghai, China's largest city, has a population of over 26 million people. Australia, a massive country continent, has a population of 26 million as well. Comparison. All the people of an entire continent are equal to the number of people living in just one city. Russia is the largest country by area, but nearly 75% of its population lives in the European part of Russia, west of the Ural Mountains. The vast eastern part of Russia, Siberia, which accounts for about 77% of Russia's landmass, holds only 23% of its population. New York City versus Norway. New York City is home to over 8.5 million people. The entire country of Norway has a population of about 5.4 million. Comparison. NYC could fit almost 2 Norways inside it, and it's just a single city compared to an entire country. Norway is also almost 821 times the size of New York City. Quite interesting how population is divided around our world. People in Singapore are often dubbed the fastest walkers in the world, walking at a brisk pace of around 6.15 kilometers per hour on average. That's almost like walking as fast as an average person jogs. Nigeria's population explosion. Nigeria has around 220 million people, and it's growing fast. By 2050, it's expected to overtake the US as the 3rd most populous country. Russia, by contrast, has 144 million people, but its population population is shrinking. Comparison: while Russia covers over 17 million square kilometers, Nigeria, at less than 1 million square kilometers, may soon have 50% more people. Indonesia is an archipelago of over 17,000 islands, but more than half of its population of 273 million lives on just one island, Java. The island of Java is about the same size as New York State. Comparison: imagine if more than half the US population was crammed into New York State. That's what it's like for Indonesia, where Java alone has over 145 million people. Iceland has a population of just around 375,000, but it is known for its book-loving culture. About 1 in 10 Icelanders will publish a book in their lifetime. Brazil has the largest Japanese community outside of Japan, with over 1.5 million people of Japanese descent living there, mostly in Sao Paulo. The fun thing about this is that this is more people of Japanese ancestry than actually live in Hokkaido, Japan's northernmost island. The tiny island country of Malta has a population of about 520,000 people, but it attracts over 2.6 million tourists annually. Malta's tourist population each year is about 5 times the size of its actual population. More geography facts. In Longyearbyen, a town in Norway's Svalbard archipelago, it's technically illegal to die. The ground is too cold to decompose bodies, so the cemetery stopped accepting new burials in the 1950s, and terminally ill residents are flown to the mainland. Did you know the East African Rift is slowly splitting the African continent into two? Eventually, this tectonic activity will create a new ocean, separating parts of East Africa from the rest of the continent. About 99% of Libya is covered by desert, making it one of the driest and most arid countries on the planet. Imagine just living in a desert. Off the coast of Mauritius, an optical illusion makes it look like there's an underwater waterfall. It's actually sand and silt being funneled off the edge of an ocean shelf into deeper waters, creating the appearance of a waterfall under the sea. Albania, a small country in the Balkans, is dotted with more than 173,000 bunkers built during the Cold War. They were designed by the communist regime of Enver Hoxha to protect against potential invasions, which never happened. Definitely prepared for a zombie apocalypse. Kazakhstan is the largest landlocked country in the world, but it still has a coastline. This is because it borders the Caspian Sea, the largest enclosed inland body of water on Earth, which is technically considered a lake. In Hudson Bay, Canada, there's a gravitational anomaly that makes gravity slightly weaker than elsewhere. Scientists believe it's caused by the slow rebound of the Earth's crust after the last ice age and the influence of mantle convection beneath the surface. The Ganges-Brahmaputra Delta in Bangladesh is the largest delta in the world, covering about 100,000 square kilometers. It's one of the most fertile regions on the planet, but also highly prone to flooding. The Philippines is an archipelago made up of 7,641 islands, but only about 2,000 of them are inhabited. Ever heard of the shortest bridge in the world? This is it. The shortest international bridge in the world is the Zavakan Island Bridge between Canada and the United States. It's just 32 feet, 9.75 meters long, and connects two tiny islands, one in Canada and one in the US. Moving on to the next fact. The Rock of Gibraltar is home to about 300 Barbary macaques, the only wild monkey population in Europe. Legend says that as long as the monkeys remain, so will British rule over Gibraltar. Going back to the vast land of Russia, we've come to the deepest lake in the world, but there's more. Lake Baikal in Russia is both the deepest lake in the world, reaching depths of 1,642 meters, 5,387 feet, and the oldest, estimated to be around 25 million years old. It contains about 20% of the world's unfrozen fresh water. You can walk across Liechtenstein in a day. Liechtenstein, one of the smallest countries in the world, is only about 25 kilometers, 15.5 miles long, and 9.4 kilometers, 5.8 miles wide. You can walk across the entire country in a single day. Greenland, despite being the world's largest island, has no native forests. Only about 14% of its land is free from ice, and the vegetation consists mostly of tundra, moss, and grasses. Greenland always keeps me on my toes and stays an interested topic on the channel. Let me know what you think about this fact. Next is a fact you wouldn't immediately think of when thinking about Europe. While deserts are more commonly associated with hot, dry regions, Europe has its own desert in Spain. The Tabernas Desert in southern Spain is one of the few true deserts in Europe and has been used as a filming location for many Western movies. Now, this one really impressed me when I searched for the most interesting geography facts. Norway's coastline could stretch around the world and even 1.5 times. Due to its intricate fjords and islands, Norway's true coastline is much longer than it appears. If stretched out, it would be about 58,133 kilometers, 36,122 miles long. which could nearly circle the Earth 1.5 times. Well, that's one fascinating fact I won't forget. The Pacific Ocean is larger than all land masses combined. The Pacific Ocean covers more area than all the continents put together, at approximately 63 million square miles, 165 million square kilometers. It's so vast that it could easily fit all 7 continents inside it. Africa has its own Great Lakes. The African Great Lakes region includes some of the largest and deepest lakes in the world, including Lake Victoria, Lake Tanganyika, and Lake Malawi. Lake Tanganyika is the world's longest freshwater lake. The fun thing about this is that although the American-Canadian lakes are being called great, they're actually smaller than the African ones, as is Lake Baikal in Russia, which we've just discussed. Collectively, they contain 31,000 kilometers 7,400 cubic miles of water, which is more than either Lake Baikal or the North American Great Lakes. This total constitutes about 25% of the planet's unfrozen surface fresh water. Mexico City is sinking. Mexico City is built on the ancient lake bed of Lake Texcoco and is slowly sinking at a rate of about 10 centimeters, 4 inches per year. In some areas, the city has sunk by as much as 9 meters, 30 feet, over the past century. There's a phantom island in the Pacific. Sandy Island, off the coast of Australia, appeared on maps for centuries but was undiscovered in 2012 when scientists sailed to the coordinates and found nothing. The mysterious island is believed to have been a cartographic error. The world's oldest desert. The Namib Desert in Namibia is the oldest desert in the world, estimated to be at least 55 million years old. Its vast dunes are among the tallest in the world, rising over 300 meters, 980 feet. Speaking of deserts, did you know the Sahara Desert used to be green? Around 10,000 years ago, the Sahara Desert was lush and green, covered with lakes and vegetation. It became the dry desert we know today due to gradual changes in the Earth's orbit and climate. There are more countries in Africa than in Europe and North America combined. Africa, with 54 countries, has more sovereign nations than Europe, 44, and North America, 23, combined. The Pole of Inaccessibility. The Eurasian Pole of Inaccessibility is the most remote point on land, located in China. It's the farthest spot from any coastline, about 2,645 kilometers, 1,644 miles, from the nearest sea. Earlier in this video, we've discussed the desert of Spain and how you wouldn't think of a European desert. However, would you believe me if I said the United Kingdom even owns one? Surprisingly, the UK has its own desert, located in Dungeness, England. This barren landscape of gravel is classified as a desert due to its low rainfall and sparse vegetation. There's a place where the Atlantic and Pacific meet but don't mix. At Cape Horn in southern Chile, the Atlantic Ocean and Pacific Ocean meet but don't mix easily due to differences in temperature, salinity, and water densities, creating a distinct boundary between the two bodies of water. Mongolia has more horses than people. In Mongolia, horses outnumber people. There are about 3 million people, but an estimated 4 million horses roaming the country, many of them wild, a testament to Mongolia's nomadic heritage. Just like New Zealand has far more sheep than people, and Australia more kangaroos. Argentina and Chile share the longest international border in the southern hemisphere. The border between Argentina and Chile is the longest international border in the southern hemisphere, stretching over 5,300 kilometers, 3,300 miles, running along the Andes mountain range. Australia moves 7 centimeters north every year. The Australian continent is moving northward at a rate of 7 centimeters, 2.8 inches per year, due to tectonic plate movements. This means Australia's coordinates have to be adjusted periodically. And there you have it, half an hour of fascinating and fun facts from countries around the globe. The world is full of surprises just waiting to be explored. Consider a subscription on this channel if you like these kinds of videos. Your support really helps improve the channel. Also, take a look at the recommended video which is on your screen right now. Anyway, thanks for watching, and as always, see you in the next of Earth Basics.